If you've ever dreamed about living in one of those waterfront towns like you see in the movies, quaint, beautiful, serene, everybody's really happy. Well, we have lots of those around here in the Seattle suburbs. And today I'm going to be talking about Gig Harbor. So pay attention. You're going to love this one. This is super great. Gig Harbor might be one of the most beautiful places around Seattle. I mean, honestly, it's got a downtown, a waterfront. We'll go over commute times. I'll go over home prices, the pros and the cons, and what it's really like to live in Gig Harbor in 2026. Yes. So if you're thinking about moving anywhere around the Seattle area, suburbs, Seattle itself, go ahead and hit subscribe or follow, and you will be able to find out when I'm having new videos and covering lots of the areas around Seattle. There's so many places around here, and I can tell you just what it's really like to live in these places. Gig Harbor is just south of Tacoma. We have Seattle, Tacoma, and Gig Harbor, and it's kind of under, salt water comes in through the Puget Sound from the ocean and comes down. And that's where Tacoma is located and Gig Harbor. You go over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, which is beautiful, iconic bridge. You do have to pay a little bit, and I think you can get a fast pass or something. So it's located southwest of Tacoma. It's across the bridge. It's in Pierce County, same as Tacoma. It is a waterfront harbor town. That's how it's considered. You have access to Tacoma, Seattle, and Olympia, where our capital and all that political stuff happens. So it's a really nice little area that's very close, but definitely feels woodsy, Pacific Northwest vibey. We kind of refer to it over there on the peninsula. You know, a lot of people don't go over there. I'll take clients over there because I can take the ferry. I'm up north of Seattle. It takes me about an hour and a half to get down to Tacoma, and I go there to see my family. And that's why I'm covering these areas, because I'm familiar with them. And so if you want to move there, let me know. I do know quite a bit down there. My family lives there and works there. And so it's a little bit of it's like a Saturday trip for a lot of people. Let's go to Gig Harbor. They'll have festivals. I take the ferry and then drive down the peninsula side. A lot of people just take I-5 and come around, but it's just part of the quaint beautifulness of living here in our area. Is that a word, beautifulness? I think I just made that up. Anyways, it's just part of living in our area. If I could take a ferry, I'm gonna take a ferry. So many residents commute to like Tacoma. They have healthcare jobs down in that area. There's a couple very large, very established hospitals. There's the JBLM military. You could do Seattle hybrid work, which is where you go work a few days a week. The Tacoma commute is manageable. The Seattle commute is much longer. What I would do if I lived in Gig Harbor is maybe go to Tacoma and catch the commuter train if I'm going to work in Seattle. Or maybe you can get some type of pass or have your work. Sometimes they'll pay for ferries. There's bridge toll. And remote hybrid workers moving here are happening more and more now. People are kind of discovering the Tacoma Gig Harbor area. They have been working on Tacoma and revitalizing the waterfront, and it's just a pleasure to go down there. It feels like a legit, like going on vacation out of the country designation when you're down on the Ruston waterfront. And there's beautiful condos where you could live there as well, and restaurants and everything. So, but Gig Harbor feels much more relaxed than Seattle. The trade-off can definitely be commute times, though, depending on how you feel about that. Some people don't care. I had a job where I was a road warrior. I took it to just see what it was like, and I traveled out. I managed the Pacific Northwest, but when I was home working, I definitely was coming home from even Aberdeen, all different areas. to Marysville, and I was always coming home in the peak rush hour. So I would just call people. I didn't even notice I was in traffic, to tell you the truth. So let's talk about Gig Harbor personality. What do you think about Gig Harbor personality? What's it like? Well, it's upscale, it's scenic, it's a boating community. It's definitely a quieter lifestyle. Strong community feel, very Pacific Northwesty. People drive through it to get to other areas, but you can stop and have lunch or something. They've got marinas, seafood restaurants, of course. I mean, this is the Pacific Northwest. Boutique shops, lots of little, self-employed, local-owned boutique shops, and waterfront homes, lots and lots. Gig Harbor feels almost like a coastal vacation while still being connected to larger cities. Yes, there's a lot of places around here that feel like a vacation. Things to do. Well, downtown Waterfront, there's the marina, there's harbor walks, which is always really important to have that, like a park and a harbor walk, and most towns do have it. Waterfront dining, kayak rentals, that's really popular around here. Be careful if you're new. Lakes are different than the Puget Sound, which is even different than the ocean. You need to know waves and tides, and be careful. Maybe go out with a tour if you haven't done it before, so they can train you how to do it. But I have done the ocean once, kayaking, and I was in California, and it was very stressful. It was everybody in our tour group, and there was probably like 12 boats. Some had 2 people in them. They all wiped out except for me, and I was probably the most scared. And it was actually coming back to the shore. The waves were so high, and he said, you're going to cut through the waves and you're going to lean back like you never leaned back. So I did. We leaned way back and we made it, but everybody wiped out right there. But it's not something to mess around with, even though, like, if you go out on a little lake, you're fine. You're fine. I have 2 kayaks. I don't know how many my kids have now. They've got a lot. And it's not like, we're super experts at it. I go out every year. I like to go to the 6 lakes around where I live and kayak, because it's quiet and beautiful and woodsy and safe. So you got your kayak rentals. Parks and nature. So you have your Cushman Trail, waterfront parks, boating, paddle boarding. My daughter loves to do that. Farmers markets. And you know what? Almost every town has one now. So you can see what day of the week it is and when they run. It's usually, late spring through late summer. And also with the farmers markets, a lot of towns are having like movies in the park now too at night, because our weather has gotten warmer and it's nicer in the summers. But we do have a couple days there where it is stinking hot and it's like in the 90s and really hard to handle unless you have air conditioning. And a lot of people around here get those roll around air conditioners. We put them in our closets and bring them out. Easy peasy if your house doesn't have air conditioning. And those are the newer homes. And I mean newer, I'm talking decades newer. But the older homes, we just didn't have them. We didn't have a need for air conditioning. So lots of festivals, farmers markets. I mean, there's something to do all the time around here for sure. Gig Harbor is one of those places where people move for the lifestyle as much as the homes themselves. Very beautiful homes. Who is it good for? Retirees, remote workers, luxury buyers, boating enthusiasts, Tacoma commuters, people wanting a slower pace. Maybe not for budget buyers, nightlife seekers, daily Seattle commuters, and people wanting dense urban living where you can walk out your door and have everything within walking distance. Yeah, that's not for us. So home prices, it is a little more expensive in Gig Harbor than, say, Tacoma. Tacoma is definitely more affordable than Seattle. If you go up north, I think the homes are more affordable north. But we can find every price range. It depends. You have to be patient. And believe me, I will search it out until we find one. But you do have a lot of more upscale prices. So Gig Harbor definitely comes with a premium price tag. And it's a nice place to visit too, but if you want to live there, it's going to be a little bit more. Pros and cons: beautiful waterfront, quieter lifestyle, strong community feel, lots of outdoor recreation, scenic neighborhoods, and the marina lifestyle. Those are things that people love about it. What are the cons? It can be expensive. You have the bridge tolls. I think it's $5. You have commute times, limited nightlife, things like that. And then, Gig Harbor is definitely, I'm familiar with it because that was part of my Road Warrior. I love going over there though. I catch the ferry as low as I can down, up north, and then drive the other side. So I'm just on the other side peninsula driving around. It's so beautiful. So if you're thinking about moving anywhere around Seattle suburbs, go ahead and follow, hit subscribe, and you can find out the videos that are coming up and look at some of the ones I've already done. Thanks for hanging in there. I'm Marilee.
And don't forget to subscribe today so you don't miss any posts. You get all the new updates. I can answer any questions you have. It's absolutely free. And I also want to thank you for stopping by my channel, Living in Seattle Suburbs with Marilee.